Hey everybody, welcome to another Age of Grogu, and I've got with me today Elijah and Jason. Guys, how is it going?
What
We are in February.
Finally, hopefully, well, let's see how
that
February goes.
last month
But
took like 5 years, huh?
Was that?
yeah,
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
5 years
just
off our lives.
yeah, yes, January. That was the
Like
month
I'm
of January.
51 now.
Yeah, go figure.
Mm.
Yeah, there has not been a humongous amount of news. It's still early in the year, so we're still getting little bits and pieces. But there have been a couple of shows that dropped in January. There's a couple of shows that are dropping, next month, and movies and stuff like that. So I figured we'd, just kind of talk about what we've seen, what we've got coming up, coming out, kind of thing that we're excited to check out. So yeah, what have you guys been checking out the last week or two?
I've been catching up on all the, I've getting the SAG. I get SAG screeners. I don't get like
Oh, okay,
any other screeners, but I've been getting the
right,
SAG. I got the SAG screeners, get digital and some CDs or some
right,
DVDs.
uh-huh.
But I've been
Anything
going
cool?
through some of those, and it's just been catching up. Yeah, the ones I really liked were The Brutalist, which was a great
Okay,
movie.
all right,
Adrian Brody.
Yeah.
okay,
Awesome. It was really well done
all
for,
right,
its type of film. I mean, it was
yeah,
slow, and I don't think
yeah,
it's your type of movie, but
right,
it's about
yeah,
an architect coming out to the U.S. and it's like 3.5 hours long, so it was very long.
oh, wow,
The
My
substance
favorite
was
type of architecture.
yeah, the brute. Yeah, I mean, they kind of go into it's not like it's more about his life versus
Yeah.
about the arch, the building. Anyways,
mm-hmm.
but the substance with Demi Moore and Margot Qualley was great. It was a lot better
Yeah,
than I was thinking it was. I wanted to see it in the theater, but I'm glad screener copies came.
right,
But I really enjoyed it. It was
cool,
very David Cronenberg body horror type of like
Yeah.
um, horror.
right.
Just great. It was great. It was really really good. The end of it. Have you seen it yet, Jason?
I want to see it. That's
Okay,
on.
yeah, it's like available to like rent online and for
Yeah.
streaming
Right.
or whatever. So um, that I really enjoyed, and the other one I really enjoyed was Anora
Oh
with
yeah,
Honora.
that one too.
Anora, the Mike, forgetting her name, the main girl, the one of the other girls that was in um,
Once upon a time in
Once
Hollywood.
Upon a Time in
Okay,
Hollywood.
all right,
One of the
okay,
Manson girls, the one that gets all
right.
shot up and caught on fire at the end of the movie and all that stuff.
Oh, okay, all right.
Um,
Right.
but yeah, I mean, completely different type of role in this one.
Mm-hmm.
It was, it's really interesting because it like changes 3 times. Like it starts off as like a romance type of movie at the beginning, and then it turns into like a black comedy, and then it turns into like a
Right.
drama. So there's
Gotcha.
like 3 major segments of like the movie.
Mhm.
And they kind of just change on a dime. There's like one major switch in a scene where it like just we're going in a
Mm-hmm.
complete other direction. So that's
Okay.
what I liked about it the most. It was surprisingly very good. It's basically a movie about a stripper who gets bought out by this client, and then like all hell ensues, and everything kind of changes after she gets into this situation with this person. Um, but those 3 I really like. There's some other ones I need
Cool.
to go over. I still haven't watched
Right.
Wicked's one of the
Mm-hmm.
screeners I have, and Concave.
Concave.
Is
Haven't
that what
heard of
it's
that.
called? It's
I
a
haven't that one.
I
Who's
think
in
that's what
that?
it's called.
Right.
Ray Fiennes.
Hey, Kay.
Oh,
Anyways, I might be having that wrong. It's about like some
Okay.
um, priest or Catholic,
Okay.
um, whatever thing. But yeah,
Cool.
those three that I mentioned were like the standouts. So I still need to go over some
Right.
more, but those I really enjoyed those.
Cool.
mhm.
What you been up to,
Yeah.
Jason? What have you been watching? What have you been checking out? What's new?
New season of Severance started. I need to catch the
Okay.
last episode.
I still haven't
Um,
seen it. I hear it's very good though.
yeah, first season was good. Me and Liz are kind of struggling with the second season. We're kind of
Really?
just like,
Okay.
oh, the hype is gone, or but I mean,
It
it's still good, but like
is that all Ben Stiller? Like he directed it, or is the showrunner, or he
he's like his,
creator?
I think he's a showrunner.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I mean, it's good, but like I think it just took so long for the new season to come out that we're kind
Right.
of like, kind of died down on that. I watched Andor again.
Okay.
Whoa,
Just like to put it on,
man,
like
Right.
it's still
watching all
good,
the time.
still really
Cool.
good.
I
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know what else, like just that and like whatever, some random shows.
Right. I started to rewatch the beginning of Daredevil season one, on Netflix.
Oh
Disney,
yeah.
I should say. Um, I watched the first episode. I'm gonna get through the rest of them this time round. I just literally was so. I've had such a busy couple of weeks that I literally was just like I can't sit through and watch drama right now. But yeah, I love the production quality. It really is good. I'm looking forward to
Wait,
kind
have
of
you
continuing.
not seen them yet?
I've only seen season one, and I watched it when it first came out, so it was a while ago. So I'm rewatching season one just to recap because it's been a while, and I'm just waiting for that moment where I can just like be alert and sit down and binge watch and just. But so far, I've been having trouble sitting on the couch watching shows without passing out and going to sleep. It's like very annoying. Um, okay, so Kay's got
You're getting at an
always up
age
for
where you fall
Andor,
asleep
Squid
watching things
Games.
that you like.
Yeah, yeah, and then Stranger Things. Yeah. Well, did you we've all caught up with Squid Games now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was very
Well,
cool.
wait a minute. They
I mean,
still dropped it. I mean, they still don't have. They still didn't add 3 more episodes. That's coming in season 3.
yeah. Well, there's. I think is it three or is it
Later on,
more than
it's-
three? think.
I don't
Well,
know
they
how
just
many
kind of ended it
episodes.
on a weird cliffhanger where it was like, we'll continue type.
Oh
thing.
yes, of
I
course.
don't know
Well,
if that's going to continue
they've dropped
in season 3.
that
Okay.
season 3 is going to drop on June 27th. So I thought it was going to be at the end of the year. It's like they
that's
really
cool.
want to get this show out there. So
I think
got a
they were
couple of
filming both at the
first
same
looks.
time, like season
Yeah,
What's up,
2.
Malloy?
yeah.
Tariffs
But
heavily affect your streaming.
hey there, Malone.
Oh boy.
The tariffs affect the streaming content. Yeah. We'll see.
Buy your stuff right now
Yeah.
before it all takes foot.
Yeah,
yeah.
stock up for the next 4 years. So go to
Yeah,
Costco and make one large purchase.
My Star Wars stuff is going to start getting expensive from China eventually. All my action figures and stuff like that. That's going to be ridiculous.
You're mad on the tariff. You're not mad about food or avocados. You're
Oh
like,
no! It's all about the Star Wars toys. They're going to go
I
up
got
in
a-
price. It's going to be ridiculous.
I got a
My Hot
droid-
Toys are coming.
I got a droid tariff. I got a tariff on my droid. My battleship.
That's
I'm
it.
getting
That's what it's
battleship
going to be.
tariff.
That's what it's going to be. It's
Great
going to be like, oh
editing.
my goodness, this is going to be a tough one. But
Trump down.
yeah,
Done pissed off Brent.
yeah. But anyway,
25% more.
Umbrella. You know what? I haven't actually seen Umbrella in. Oh yeah, because they shoot it up in New Zealand. That's funny. Oh, sorry, Canada. New Zealand. My mistake.
Australians, Canada.
I
Australians,
don't
Canada.
know. Well, it's be
New
down
Zealand.
in. Yeah,
Well,
there's a
Canada
lot being shot out
becomes
there.
the 51st state. Can we move to England?
Yeah,
That's what I want to
there
know.
you go.
Will
Possibly. I don't
Can
know.
we get British citizenship?
I think-
if we move to Canada and live there for a month, can we like get like a dual passport for England?
Yeah, the boys, all this stuff.
right.
Anyway, I mean, I'm pretty sure those are not going to be actually put on any sort of tariffs, but at the same time, who knows?
What did you guys think of Squid Game? We haven't got to talk about that.
Yeah, we
yet.
didn't. We did a little bit when you weren't here a couple of weeks ago, I think.
Well, Max didn't see it, so we didn't really go. into
Max,
it.
that's
We
it.
didn't
Yeah,
talk about it, so
that's it.
Max
Yeah,
didn't see it.
yeah. I thought it was good. I didn't have the same impact that season 1 had, which was the shock value and the uncertainty. But now you're going back into the same arc. You know
Couldn't
what
do
to
this-
expect, and
you
it took
couldn't do
away a
this-
little bit of that.
You couldn't do the same thing. you
Yeah.
know?
Right, it's just
Yeah.
less
What-
games.
I
They
think
had
what
less
they
games.
did-
Yeah,
Yeah, but what I think what they did was a nice follow up to what
Yeah,
we had
Anchorman.
prior,
yeah.
and it was some good spoilers, guys. If you guys haven't seen
Yeah.
Squid Game, it was a good catharsis seeing them fight back, which
Yeah.
I got really pumped
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
Like because we could easily. I mean, there were new games,
Yeah.
I guess. So like the tension of like them still playing into games and gonna get killed was still there again because they introduced these like
Yeah.
new games. and
It's not bad or anything. It's just
and the
but,
stakes were like still the same.
hmm Yeah.
But like it's a good follow up without doing the same exact thing
Right.
again. So I enjoyed it a lot.
That's cool.
Actually, me and Liz really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
I'd like to go through and watch it again. I mean, I definitely will
Yeah.
before the third season hits.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like the direction they went. I mean, like the 2 or 3 episodes that it took for them to finally get to the island and all that stuff was pretty great. Like just the intrigue of where he was at and like him hiding out and like all of that stuff was pretty great.
Yeah.
Searching
Yeah.
for the one guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, and we got to learn a lot about that dude
Yeah.
before he offed himself, so that was kind of cool too.
Yeah, I mean, again, there's some cool stuff. I didn't expect it to end right in the middle of the arc of the story. So, as I didn't realize, I thought there was only a season 2. I didn't realize it was like season 3. I hadn't read that, but
It was like a Empire Strikes Back kind of.
it was.
That's what I was just about to say.
Was, yeah.
An abrupt ending that
used to
makes
that,
me want more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I'm gonna sit and watch season 3. I'm excited to see how they end this, but there's this whole element of still you got all the international element because you saw a lot of the international element in the first season of people from all over the world who watch these games and all this sort of stuff, and I didn't get as much of that this time round. That they
Wait, what are you talking about?
well, you know when you had the people from all overseas coming to watch the game itself, and they finally break into in the last couple of episodes of the season 1, and they're all
they didn't get to make it that far into the games yet.
Yeah, and
they didn't
so,
come back until like it's close to the final game.
Oh, it was okay. That's it. Oh, so that was
like
it.
They had their uprising like halfway
Right.
through the games,
Okay.
so like that didn't happen
Right.
yet. Which
Okay.
are the people I want to see pay.
Like, well, that's it. Yeah, that's
them to get their comeuppance.
I want those people to be there. I want to know, and the thing is, the disruption that has been created in the middle of this game has really thrown that into turmoil, obviously. So I'm curious to see if and how they're going to bring their other, money, their funders, benefactors, I should say, into this story and see how that plays
Oligarchs.
out. Oh, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Oh, someone's asking about the Apple shows.
Yeah.
I was just talking about Severance, which is a good. It's
Hey, sorry. Hey,
that show's hype.
I don't. Sorry, go for it.
Oh, I was just saying that show's hype. I was just.
Oh, right.
Your question.
I don't have Apple, so I don't really know. What was that? Hang on a sec. I'm just catching up on the chat. Sorry, guys. Scenarios. Brent save Wednesday into Wednesday. Okay. Wednesday as in Wednesday. What's the other thing I've been up to recently? Oh yeah, I've been playing with a group of friends. Started this year the old West End role playing game, Star Wars role play game, which I actually started up with a group of friends and played the first campaign. I played in over 20 years, and it's very much like Dungeons and Dragons. A lot of fun. That was kind of a cool thing. So
Star Wars role playing game.
Yeah, and I've got all these miniatures and stuff like that, so I can actually place things on the board. Again, it's very similar to Dungeons and Dragons, but imagine playing Star Wars as a role-play game in a Dungeons and Dragons in a Star Wars format, and that's what it was. It's kind of really fun stuff. All right, well, that's what I've been up to anyway. Whatever. I had to throw that in there. All right, guys. So let's check on some of the news. Again, not a lot, but one thing straight up. Carrie Fisher's little dog Gary passed away yesterday. Apparently, the surviving member of her. Oh, but not surviving member. She's got a daughter, obviously. That was so stupid. But yeah,
The dog existed.
What's that, Gary?
I didn't know about this dog.
Oh, you didn't? No way. Yeah, everybody was like, "What's going to happen to Gary?" And as Carrie Fisher's daughter Billy took over and looked after the dog after she passed, kind of thing. But that dog's been around for a while, kind of thing. Yeah, I know it sucks.
French bulldog.
Yeah, exactly. She used to take him to all the conventions and stuff like that, and whenever
French
she went
bulldogs
out.
have a lot of health problems.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. But he always had he was like a Deadpool dog. He always had his tongue sticking out, kind of thing, and all that. But it was cute.
Disgusting.
Disgusting, but yeah. Well, it's definitely. you gotta put it this way. Carrie Fisher definitely was unique. So she obviously saw this dog, fell in love with a weird looking dog with a tongue that stuck out, and
She's
kept on
into
reminding me
scoundrels.
of. Yeah, that's it. Exactly. Yeah. So that was kind of like a little sad.
Scary.
One thing that was kind of sad for me, this is kind of like an emotional thing for me because this actor passed away, voice actor John Owen, who played He-Man and Prince Adam and was in tons of cartoons from the 80s,
Archie?
passed away. Yeah, he did a lot of voice stuff, but he was a very shy actor apparently. He never did interviews and stuff like that, so it was very little known about him. But it was kind of like, oh, He-Man died. I mean, well, Prince Adam died. Whatever. They both died. But anyway, that was kind of a moment. You guys see that they actually dropped this image. James Gunn dropped this image from Supergirl. They started shooting,
Yes.
which is
That
showing
a
us
set?
that's the new logo. Uh, I
She's at
it's
a bar.
it's
In
it's
space, a
I
space
don't know.
bar.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, I'm not too sure to be honest.
And based on like the line they're doing, she's
Yeah,
like not really earthbound right now.
yeah.
So
Well, this is the new logo. It's in shape of Superman's logo, so it's gonna be cool. I'm curious to see what they do for that.
logo.
I'm hoping that we start getting uh, some trailers soon.
Oh yeah.
They're
I mean,
saying Super Bowl
huh?
Super
Well,
Bowl
James Gunn has
or
officially
near Super Bowl at
announced.
least. Like
Yeah,
should be around that time at least.
Puppy
And
Bowl.
we'll get,
Apparently, there's a
we'll
thing
get
called Puppy
straight.
Bowl, and
Yeah.
James Gunn's gonna drop the trailer for Superman at the Puppy Bowl, which I
Puppy Bowl.
think is wait, I think it was either the 11th or the 13th or something like that. So we will get a new trailer then. Yeah,
We should be getting an Andor trailer soon.
yeah, that should be. I'm gonna assume that that will come up closer to once they release Daredevil, which by the way is in like what a couple of weeks. Wait, when is it? Soon? Very soon. Daredevil should be out very soon too. Oh my goodness, so many shows that are coming out. Hang on a second. When is Daredevil?
Only 2 Star Wars stuff
March
this
the
year.
4th. Yeah, only 2 shows, but then we're going to probably get at least one animated show. We're going to get um, um, uh,
Yeah, what's that?
Celebration. Celebration in Japan's going to do a whole pile of drops.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if we get at least another animated show that they'll make a drop for. I'm sure we'll get like Vision Season 3 that's due out
Yeah,
sometime this year.
that and Andor are the only things we're getting this year from Star
Hmm.
Wars. But
Yeah.
I'm not complaining. Quality over quantity. I'm
Yeah.
always more happy about.
Oh, yeah.
Take your time with the Star Wars, guys.
Oh yeah. Well, they're taking their time with Mandalorian and Grogu because they are not releasing it till summer of next year. So that's a good year and a half in post production. So
Dave Filoni still has to insert himself into the movie too.
he doesn't have to. He won't do it.
He's going to.
He's too busy.
Mark
with other
my
stuff.
words.
He
Dave Filoni's gonna be in the Mandalorian.
what's that? You had the chance to meet Charlie Cox, Daredevil, this much? Cool. That'd be awesome. Here's a very nice guy to talk to.
Yeah. He's not, remember, Anchorman, he's not blind in real life.
Yeah. That's funny. Hoping that they'll announce season 2 of Skeleton Crew Celebration. I would hope so too. I don't want to get my hopes up on anything that Lucasfilm is announcing these days because
They're doing a season 2?
no, nothing's been announced. Right now, Ahsoka season 2 is the only thing officially announced in the sense of the TV show stuff. Outside of we're guessing animation, but there's still guesses as to what they're continuing. I know that Young Jedi Adventures, the little kids adventure animated show, starts up its new season next month, I should say. And there's all little bits and pieces. I mean, honestly, they're keeping quiet right now, which is good. I'm glad that they're kind of holding back on releasing and veiling information. But we should be getting a trailer for season 2 of Andor, probably when Daredevil comes out or somewhere in that time period. And I'm sure we'll get a second trailer, or they'll show scenes at Celebration in a few months'
That's
time.
Gigi. Okay, in case you're wondering. Her name's Gigi. Hey, but man, that Skeleton Crew though, so good.
Yeah. Oh, Dave Filoni? Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. The cat, yeah, GG. Uh, yeah, no, I mean, Andor season 2, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be, it's going to be epic. It's going to be big. It's going to be expensive, but I'm looking forward to seeing what they
250
do.
mil, dude.
Yeah, it's
Whoa.
crazy
Crazy.
for 12 episodes. For 12 episodes, yeah.
Damn, that's like
Yeah.
that costs as much as Arcane. I
Mhm.
mean, it make if that's how much it costs to make something good,
Yeah,
then shoot.
but Skeleton Crew was pretty decent. Like Skeleton Crew was
What
fun,
do you mean
and
understatement? It was awesome.
yeah, I know.
What do you
Great.
mean
Yeah,
decent?
it was decent. I mean, it was yeah, it
It
was
was
awesome.
very good.
And despite the attacks on Acolyte, I still think Acolyte provided some incredibly cool material
Yeah,
for the Star Wars universe
but
too.
that's the thing. Like, so I watched. Oh, this is another thing I watched recently.
Yeah.
Rise of Skywalker.
Oh
Just for the
yes.
heck of it. And you know what?
Episode
Say
9.
what you want to say about like a lot of like the sequel movies. They're like
Mhm.
they're great.
Yeah.
They're great looking movies. You could
Yeah.
clip those,
Hmm.
and they look awesome. It's some of
Yeah.
the best Star Wars footage we've gotten
Sure.
in
Yeah.
recent history.
Yeah.
But like just as a whole, they kind of have
Good
holes. They're
stuff.
just filled with holes and stuff like that, you know.
Hmm. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a great looking movie. It's just
Yeah.
watching it. You know, have you gone back to
Hmm.
rewatch the sequels at
I
all?
only saw it twice at the theaters for the each one. I think I saw the Force Awakens a couple of more times, like about 6 times in the theaters. I think I watched it once on Blu-ray, and then I think Last Jedi I've seen 3 times in the theaters, and I think maybe once
Yeah, I
on
watched.
DVD or TV.
Yeah, I saw that like 3
But
times in the theaters. So.
Rise of Skywalker, I saw it twice in the theaters, and I haven't sat and rewatched it
You haven't
again.
watched it
So,
again?
well, I mean, just simply partly, I just need some time to pass and let that simmer. So,
Ryan
Like 10
Harry.
years passed.
What got me to rewatch it just
Yeah.
for the heck of it is like Ryan Harry released a video defending
yeah?
sequels
Sure.
and like talking about the good stuff about them. So I was like,
Uh-huh.
let's check out Rise of Skywalker again. Let's see if I still hate it. But
Uh-huh. And you did?
So the big question: did you still?
no, what
didn't?
I said, like
Okay.
it's awesome looking. There's awesome moments
Okay.
in it. Like
Moments.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brief,
cool like
5
scenes
second
and like
moments.
set like
Yeah.
some set pieces that are sick.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like a great looking Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
They're great movies, but not great Star Wars movies.
Each trilogy. Sorry, Elijah, you were saying?
No, it's okay. I don't.
Well,
I
it's
don't
like
need to
I
make
was
the
gonna
comments on
prequels.
the
The
movie.
prequels
Oh,
are
right.
the prequels are relatively bad movies, but they're great Star Wars movies.
Sure. I mean, that's where I sit down and have to go through. And when I sat down and watched the original trilogy, obviously I was a kid, so I was into it. The toy line, moved my thoughts and my imagination, and that'll always
Mexico
be
is creepy.
incredible there. The prequels, when I saw them originally, I had to sit down and let them simmer in my thoughts for a couple of months, and ultimately I understood after months of thinking about it what did and didn't work. But I enjoyed to go with the what worked for me on those. And I had the same situation with the prequels. The prequels, I should say. The sequels, I had to sit and watch with the sequels and figure out what didn't work with me and what did work and let them simmer. And the sequels did not, simmer as well as the prequels did. It
Yeah,
took some,
okay, I agree.
yeah.
The Last Jedi, I'll defend it to the grave.
Oh yeah,
It
I
really shook things up, and then they
the
really played with the lore in it. It's one of the
yeah
most original recent Star Wars movies that they've released.
yeah. There was stuff that worked, but there's also stuff that didn't work, and that's why I always have this love-hate relationship with the Last Jedi. There were choices in the overall scheme of the Skywalker saga that didn't work. They should have been mapped out better in the sequels, and they didn't map it out according to plan, and that is noticeable in the final product of the film. At the same time, it's the best of the 3 sequels, in my opinion, of the filmmaking process.
But in that
the
defense,
choices.
like not like George Lucas had it all mapped out for the original trilogy
Uh-huh.
either.
Hey there, Ronan. How
Like,
you doing?
you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that wasn't mapped out. That was
No, it wasn't mapped out. It was definitely afterthoughts, but it was, it's amazing how a story can still be told in editing and
Mm.
work, and how I feel editing in the sequels is and the storytelling of the flow of the storytelling in the sequels could have been a lot better if they had just stopped and thought about things along the way and not
Seriously.
pushed it out the door to try to get it out there as Disney tend to do. You know, they want their date on the shelf, and they want their, you know, release date on that shelf, and that's it.
But geez, the cinematography. Yeah, I agree. The cinematography of Rise of Skywalker is
Hmm.
stunning.
Yeah,
The whole sequel trilogy
yeah,
looks really great.
yeah.
I can't say the same for Attack of the Clones because you clip that one. There's
Hmm.
cool moments, whatever, but like there's a lot of ugly moments in that movie.
Yeah, yeah. No, exactly. Well, I mean, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I
No, it's
guess.
true, dude.
Yeah,
but
but when you
in the defense
but yes.
of like
Hmm.
Attack of the Clones, we do get the slave ones. Wow, like
Sure.
that.
No, that was cool. Yeah,
You know, there's
but
cool moments.
there was
Like,
slow moments, but
but
the fun.
the Geonosis
Yeah.
arena
Mm.
Jedi fight is so ugly going back. Like that did
Yeah.
not hold up
So
at all. I'm
Well, again, it
no,
sorry.
was
I
Like
agree.
early special effects. George Lucas was pushing the boundaries, experimenting. He wouldn't have been able to do that for
no,
as
but that's the
cheap as he
thing.
could. Yeah.
That's the art of visual effects is to use it well. I mean,
Right.
Yeah,
like
use it in the right
Yeah.
Jurassic Park
way.
was like
Yeah.
almost like a decade
Right.
before that, and
Right.
still holds
Right.
up.
But it still would have cost George a lot more money to build massive set pieces rather than green screen
No,
and
you
blue
know,
screen.
Geonosis,
And
the arena Geonosis
yeah,
was a practical.
the miniatures were
Yeah,
practical. Yeah.
miniatures were
Yeah. Yeah.
practical, but
But it
like
was, yeah. I
the
know.
assembly line and all that was just. I'm sorry,
No,
we
no, no.
could talk forever about this, but
Of course.
compared to like that's what I mean in the difference
Yeah.
between the prequels and the sequels
Right.
is that you
Yeah.
could take a random clip from Attack of
Sure.
the Clones and it looks
Oh, yeah.
movie.
Yeah. No,
All
absolutely.
those the prequels to me, all of them look ugly. They're hard for me to look at. Like every frame of all those movies just look bad. They look
No, you
just
know what, Kay,
hard to watch.
I agree. I absolutely agree with you. Like Return of the Jedi is a
Good.
flawed film.
Oop.
The
Okay.
same with
Sorry. Yep.
Attack of the Clones. Yeah, I agree. I'm on board with you for
Right.
that one. Like we share the same opinion on that. So throw tomatoes at me as well, guys.
Oh yeah. The yeah. I mean, again, we could definitely, you know, go into it a lot more. I was going to
We have.
touch on
We've,
some other
we've
things. We
talked
have.
about this
Yeah.
plenty
Yeah.
of times.
It'll be the same
Talk
thing
show,
over and over
man.
again.
This is what we
Oh yeah.
it's a
Ah,
right
totally.
discussion.
Totally. It
Rogue One
absolutely
was
is.
refreshing. Rogue One is refreshing. That's a great movie.
Yeah, it's weird with Rogue One. When I first saw it, I never got emotionally attached to any of the characters, so I didn't feel that emotion till they died. It is so weird that the fourth time I saw it in the theaters, several years, like last year, they re-released it as a mystery Star Wars that they were going to drop in the theaters for a one night only, and I thought, oh, good, this is kind of fun, mystery Star Wars. It was Rogue One. I was like, okay, Rogue One again. This was just before the what's it called? The Andor series was coming out and all this. And I sat and watched it. I suddenly got very emotional towards these characters, and even though I knew they were going to die, I actually, for some reason, it clicked. And sometimes you have to watch a film a couple of times to get certain levels of something to click. And I don't know if that's just because you're seeing something different each time you see it, or were you just tired the first time you saw this
No,
movie, or
you
is
know
it?
what to expect. I feel like you're
Yeah,
not like hoping for something else.
right.
You're kind of watching it as it is and like understanding the beats now because
Yeah,
you've seen it already,
yeah.
and sometimes that makes it
Oh, yeah.
a lot better to.
Oh yeah, I could you could either break down every Star Wars movie or every Star Wars show and say it is flawed in some way. I think almost everything is flawed in some way. Very few things are ever perfect. But then you also got to sit and go, what is it trying to tell us? It's just trying to tell us to have fun, go to the movies, be, you know, enjoy the adventure kind of thing. You
Or
know,
telling us
be
to
a
fight the power.
fight the power or
That's
whatever
what
it
it's
may be.
always been
Yeah,
telling
yeah,
us.
yeah. I mean, come on. let's not get too political here, but I just showed you guys that one little thing that I found extremely funny, which was, hang on, I'm gonna have to pull this up because I found it really quite funny.
Hits home. It hits a little home when
Yeah.
we're being affected
Uh
by
huh.
it in real
Trade
life.
Yeah.
war.
So
Literal
check
trade
this
wars
out.
right now.
Someone posted this today on one of the websites, and it was just like, all of us were watching the Phantom Menace back in 1999. Why does any of this matter? Who gives a shit about the tax and federation and trade routes? George Lucas, 2025, laughing his ass off. It's like, yeah, there are things that you don't realize throughout history because you're not there to witness it, but you look at certain things that George Lucas has already looked at and seen. This has happened before; it happens again, and we are happy. We're seeing events of things happening now where how the politics, as boring as it could seem, especially in a Star Wars movie, is kind of important, and that stuff is really relevant. So you could
George Bush
sit,
doesn't really beat around the bush either
yeah,
for his references. It's pretty blatant.
sure, no, absolutely, yeah. So you see those elements take place, and again, not trying to get too political, but the reality is, you George Lucas was talking about democracy and eventually the American democracy, how it failed, how it is flawed, how it has issues, how these problems happen, and yet he can still tell a fun adventure story in a galaxy far, far away. And I think that's kind of fascinating that we just don't learn from our mistakes, do we, guys? Simple as that.
Great
Simple
art's
as that.
always a reflection of the real world.
Oh, completely, absolutely.
So
Yeah,
yeah, Star Wars.
yeah,
That's why I like Andor so much. And I started actually watching it in this because of everything that's happening right now, just to
sure.
kind of get you pumped up to fight the power. It's like a battle cry.
Battle
I watch it the same way I listen to like Rage Against the Machine or something like
Uh-huh.
that. It gets me pumped up.
Fair enough. I will wait closer to the series coming out.
Andor forever.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, just reading up on the.
Oh, but what I got to
That's
say
it.
about Rogue
Repeats it.
One,
It really does.
what I got to
Yeah.
say about Rogue One,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
one of the best space battles in Star Wars
Space
history.
Really?
Yeah, dude,
Really?
that hammerhead right into that star
Yeah.
destroyer that crashes into the other star destroyer and then breaks that whole like shield. Dude, that was cool. And they even insert like old like Rogue One fighters in there.
Yeah.
Sick, dude. That's one of the
There's some
best.
cool stuff. There was some cool stuff.
Yeah. That's one of the
Rogue
best.
One
like,
was probably
sword
my
fights.
favorite of the new Star Wars films,
Yeah,
and then probably
that
Last
makes
Jedi.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Rogue
Last-
One I liked a lot.
Yeah. I mean, space battles are fun.
Yeah, but Rogue One has one of the best space battles in my opinion. And,
Yeah.
it'll be hard to dethrone Andor. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, Andor's not going to go into and delve heavily into space battles and stuff like that, but I am more curious about the political element.
Yeah, as little
Because-
space battles there are in it, it
Yeah.
does contain one of the best like starship fights I've seen in recent Star Wars too.
Oh, with Luthen's
Luthen's,
ship when he does
yep.
the laser flip and
Sick.
that was too
Anything-
short. That was way too
Anything
short.
it does,
Yeah, yeah.
but it's still like they fit so much
Sure.
quality in one little moment.
Yeah.
Remember, like that's what you need.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, I mean
Empire,
it's
perfect movie almost.
yeah. Anyway, we'll jump out of Star Wars for a little bit here. Oh, we'll jump back into it again eventually. Super Bowl commercials. Superman, as I said, is not going to be at the Super Bowl. It'll be at Poppy Bowl. But it says here, 2 out of the 3 Marvel images releasing or giving a teaser trailer in this image here. Well, in this image here, when the Super Bowl
Fantastic
comes out.
Four? What?
Well, what? Well,
Fantastic
that's the thing.
Four?
Yeah, we're probably gonna. It sounds like we're gonna get a Fantastic Four trailer because it says 2 out of the 3 Marvel movies will be getting a teaser trailer, and of course, at this point in time, Captain America would have already released before the Super Bowl, so we'll be getting a trailer for that and Thunderbolts.
Wait, is this
So-
your first time hearing about the Puppy Bowl?
this one? Yeah.
No, is this like your first time
Oh.
hearing about what the Puppy Bowl is? Did you not know about it before?
Who's
This?
that? Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know what a puppy bowl was. Until they announced it. Yeah, yeah. I had no clue there was a thing called puppy bowl.
Oh man, it's been
No
going on
idea.
for like over like decades now.
Oh, really?
It's an alternative to watch if you're not into
Is it the same day as the
non-
Super Bowl, or
yeah, it's
what
the
day is
second
it?
time.
Wait, what day is the Super Bowl then?
I don't
Is it March? See, yeah, nobody, yeah, none of us
Oh, but
really.
I don't even
Is
know
it
who's
March or February? It is March,
it's in
right?
February.
It is
End
February.
of February.
Oh,
I think
okay.
it's the end of February.
All right. So we'll be expecting a new trailer probably in the next week or two then for Superman, but then
That's during the
we'll get
Super Bowl.
we'll get our
An alternative to watch if you're not into football.
sure.
And they're still
Watch
like, you can just
dogs
watch
play.
They
puppies.
watch little
Together.
puppy.
Yeah.
It's you during the Super Bowl. Okay. All right. See, again, I don't know. I don't know these
Learn
things.
something all
I
the
don't
time.
follow sports. Um, other stuff that we'll be getting, Alien Romulus, by the way, the sequel is sounding like it's moving forward now, and it's on uncharted waters. But the reason I brought that up is because we're also going to be getting a trailer for Alien Earth, apparently, coming up in the Super Bowl too. But which is the new Alien TV series, which kind of a cool poster. I like it. Sweet. Other things. Sorry, I'm just skipping through things here. Neil Gaiman's Sandman will be ending on season 2 of Netflix.
You know it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I know Max will have a lot to say about this if he was here today, but yeah, Neil Gaiman got into a whole lot of like trouble for stuff he's done that is just disgusting and
Being a
wrong.
pervert.
And yeah, being more than that, it's quite disturbing. So it sounds like he
Real
is
bad.
now written off the face of the planet. Everybody's been dropping him like a fly, including Netflix. I think Netflix has already started this Sandman mini movie, or I think it's like it originally was going to be season 2, and then I think it got reduced down to something smaller.
Such a
So-
massive IP, and then everyone's just like,
Yeah.
oh, it's kind of disgraced now.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah,
It
yeah.
took so long to
Mhm.
get it, and then it finally
Yeah.
came, and then he's discovered for being.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's that. An image dropped for Avatar 3, which is the Fire movie, which I don't know if I showed you this, guys, but
Whoa.
it was in
Those
Empire.
Portuguese men of war.
Yeah, it's actually kind of a cool
It looks
design.
like it was,
Yeah, and they're kind of like floating vessels. So
like
it's-
organic floating.
yeah.
vessels.
I'm curious. I mean, I'm sure we'll start to get trailers for that sooner or later. It looks visually beautiful, but Avatar just kind of it's there, I guess, for me. It's not something I went back and repeatedly saw in the
I haven't
other
even seen
films.
the second one yet.
Really?
I saw the
That's
first one one
good.
time.
It's-
Had
yeah.
no interest again.
I saw the first one. I think I've seen it twice now, and I rewatched it 10 years later when it got the re-release, because I just kind of was like, I need to refresh my memory. And the second one was about the same story as the first one. It was almost like he capped the same story in a
more-
different situation, and it was like we're just getting the same story over again.
Well, it's more about like the VFX, like that's what Avatar is going to be remembered as. It's like a huge VFX moments in
Yeah.
movie history.
Yeah.
Because the VFX are great. I've seen
Yeah.
like we've put it on at the house. Like
Right.
someone put it on when we had people over, and I was like
Yeah.
kind of watching it. I was like, damn, this looks really good.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's that. I mean, again, it looks beautiful. It looks gorgeous. They created a really cool world. I'll probably go see the film at least once. And this artwork's really quite beautiful. But at the same time, it's like, we'll see. It comes out later at the end of the year, December. So we shall see. What comes out this month in about a week's time, I think it is season 3 of Invincible. Starting, the 6th. It's this week, yeah. We're going to get first 3 episodes premiered, then we'll get a single episode after that, right through to episode 8. So we're getting all 8 episodes, one after the other. We're not going to get like 4 episodes and then a break for like 3 months or 4 months and then get the other 4. So that's going to be kind of fun to see.
I need to catch up on second season. I haven't
The
seen
second
it yet.
Oh, you haven't seen it yet? Really?
No.
It was okay. It was good. Like, I mean, I know Max is more into the series than I am. I think it's very cool. It's a lot of fun. It sounds
I
like,
really enjoyed the first season.
huh?
I enjoyed the first season a
Yeah,
lot.
the
I
first
think
season was
it's
good.
that
Yeah,
hard.
yeah. I mean, they do different things in the second season. They go out of their way to give you a different story, and it moves the pace along. Third season is going to be interesting. You can see he's got a brand new outfit and everything like that by season three. Um, and Robert Kirkman said if he can, he could try to, he would like to do like at least 7 seasons if they keep giving him budget to do more episodes and finish off his comic book run. So that would be kind of cool if they, get to do that. So, um, yeah, you've only seen season two. Oh, season one's pretty good. It's a good setup. It definitely sets up the pace of everything. How to Train Your Dragon, they dropped a new trailer a few weeks back, and they showed you some more images of some of the dragons, which it's Hookfang and Stormfly, which first time we've seen some of the other dragons in real life. I'm so
Nice,
hyped for this
dude.
movie.
That looks great.
Yeah,
How the dragons look.
yeah. Hookfang
Looks
looks
nice.
great. Like, there's definitely, they kept a realism and not the
The,
goofiness of
the other one, what's the other one that you showed? The
this one.
Astrids, the one that
Astros.
Astrid ends
Yeah,
up maybe.
this one.
I didn't
Hook.
mind that design, like in
Yeah,
the cartoon. Like
yeah,
it's all right. Looks like a parrot, but
yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
they had them in the live show that they did several years ago, and seeing these animatronics was really sweet. The way
years
they
ago,
were,
more
but
like
they were
years ago.
yeah, but they were created in the animation form of dragons rather than a real live action
A
looking
real life
stuff.
dragon.
Real life dragon, yeah. But yeah, I
You
mean,
think they were
I'm
real
sure.
life dragons at one point, Brent?
No, of course not. Not on this planet. But man, I wish they were. Like that's some of the sad
We'll
parts
be in
about the
the,
third
we'd
movie.
still be in
The sad
we'd still
the
be in medieval times if they're real dragons,
yeah,
dude.
but the thing is that like real dragon, like the tagline for the third film was "There once were dragons," and that just seems so sad for me. It's like we don't have real dragons, obviously, but there once were dinosaurs. But it's the idea of there once were dragons seems so sad to me. So I'm like, man, it's. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with live action. Anyway, that's me.
It's the
Uh,
same. It's gonna be the same story, just live action.
Sure, it is. I'm just want to see what they do with the visuals and how. Anyway, whatever. You're right. They're gonna add a couple of the director who directed the animated shows is gonna do his own little bits and pieces that change up the
Oh
original
yeah, stuff
story.
that he wished that he put in the.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's gonna be exciting.
so that'd be kind of fun. It'll be fun. The other film that comes out in 2 weeks' time is Captain America: Brave New World. I'm very excited to see this. Elijah and I have got tickets already. Um, and yeah, see it next Friday, providing work doesn't come along.
Oh yeah, that's this week. Nice.
Yeah, yeah. The
Hour,
runtime
58
isn't.
minutes.
Yeah, that's it. They've kept it at a shorter runtime. I think that's a wise choice.
I like
think
that. I like
people are.
that. It's smart.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't
I
mind
mean,
the movies.
oh, I can handle the long films, but I think that with Marvel, the way they've been dragging on some of their stuff recently, their last phase was problematic, obviously in the feature film realm. I feel like that maybe a short film might be.
I mean, the
Well,
other ones were
actually,
more epics with a lot of
yeah,
characters and everything. It's sort of like, kind of like,
yeah,
made sense for it to be a little bit longer. This
yeah,
is a little bit more contained story, so just keep it short and sweet. Keep
yeah.
it cut down
I guess,
to,
yeah.
bare minimum.
I guess the Marvels was under 2 hours too, wasn't it? So I mean, I enjoyed the Marvels immensely.
That would have helped being a little bit longer.
Yeah,
Like there was too much stuff cut out of that.
yeah. No, I agree. It did go too quickly.
But
In the Marvels.
that's my concern about seeing it like cut pretty
Right.
short. Like,
Sure.
oh man, what did they cut? Are we
Yeah.
missing some valuable stuff like we did in the Marvels?
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense too. We'll see. I mean, I can't wait. We get to see it in a few weeks' time. As I mentioned before, Daredevil, March 4th, which is a month away. I'm trying to do that catch up. I will get through all 3 seasons. I want to try to get through Defenders, and I do want to try to. I guess The Punisher might be worth watching as well and catching up on. So, does Harrison Ford like Red Hulk? I don't know. I've never asked him before. I I know that an interview I
Likes the
saw.
paycheck that he's getting from that movie.
Oh, I'm sure he likes. Oh, I guarantee he likes the paycheck. I did see in an interview this week that somebody asked him if he had any. Did he actually connect with
Mark Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo? Yes, and just to get any idea how to portray that character, and he said no,
Any
he
notes?
didn't. Any notes, and he said no, he didn't actually get the chance to cross paths with him. So
And he also said he hope he
he's
doesn't
doing his own thing.
disappoint.
Yes, yeah. So he's going to be doing his own thing. So that's going to be kind of fun to see. You're going to do Daredevil review on your channel? Sweet, man. That's awesome. Very cool. Yeah. That. I'm going to jump back into Star Wars a little bit again. Can you believe this? That the special editions came out 28 years ago last week?
Yeah, that's nuts, dude.
It's crazy.
Wait, go bring that. I was confused on that tweet.
Yeah.
They've now existed almost 10 years longer than the original versions.
Because we got the original versions 20 years later. The new the special editions came out.
Oh, so like at the time.
Yeah. Now
At
we're
the time
past
it's
the
been
point.
right.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know, right? It's mind blowing. It's a bit like Back to the Future saying that if you were back 30 years, you'd be 1995 instead. So yeah, it's the same thing. It's like Star Wars came out, and when it's now longer than it's been from when those were released to when the originals were released. It's like,
but if Back to the Future took place today, he'd be going back to the 90s.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah. So that's kind of crazy. Like Star Wars has been in our lives all this
1995.
Time just keeps moving, guys. Isn't that crazy?
Oh man,
go figure, huh? Yeah. Disney dropped a look at what was the most popular TV shows in 2024 on their streaming services. Percy Jackson was at number 1. Obviously, a lot of kids watch that. Acolyte, surprisingly, is number 2. How crazy. And Agatha All Along is number 3. I think there was some, with the exception of Skeleton Crew, that kind of began at the end of the year and into the following, into this year. I think that Acolyte was well worth the deserving of it. It's weird how it did not get renewed, and with 2.7 billion views per minute over the course of its run, why did something like that not get renewed? And so it is really weird, huh? But then look at this, Star Wars still was up there in all their shows. You got Bad Batch, you got Skeleton Crew, which began Ahsoka, which was the crossing over, I think.
The bottom half of it, all Star Wars.
Well, no, but they're rewatches. That's the funny thing. They're all rewatches. How many views were rewatched in 2024?
Was that all hate watching on the Acolytes part? Like,
I don't know. I mean, it's like they only tend to take in what people watch in the first day or week of a streaming show's run, and yet it accumulates over the course of time. There's a lot of people that go back and binge watch these shows after they've run their entire 8 episodes, or 10 episodes, or whatever it may be. And so it's kind of yeah, exactly. Everybody keeps saying Star Wars is dead. It's definitely not dead if it's some of the most viewed products on Disney Plus. And they've got a lot of new shows that they keep dropping every year. And out of all that, you've got mostly Marvel, and you've got mostly Star Wars. And Star Wars is humongous right there.
yeah.
So it is kind of a crazy... It's
all like IP up there.
Yeah.
Including Greek mythology.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. It's including Greek mythology.
That's one of the oldest IPs out there.
Yeah. Fair enough.
But that's nuts.
Yeah.
Man, Anchorman, you're always talking about Star Wars theory. Do you like him?
Yeah.
It's like every other comment you're talking about Star Wars theory, bro.
Star Wars theory, I tried to ignore the guy. Anyway, yeah. Also, Star Wars news. This was interesting. We kind of now have an answer to what happened to the Star Wars Hotel. It's going to be converted for offices for the future Disney World projects exclusive. Specifically, from what I understood, it was going to be for Disney Imagineering, which is they've got their base set up over here, I believe. But Imagineering is the guys who sit down and go, what is the next theme park? What's the next ride? And how are we going to develop the coolness of how that environment
Let's
is?
not make this mistake again. We're gonna make you make these offices
Yeah.
to remind you not to make these mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah. No, he deserves to be called out, especially when he kind
That guy
of
sucks.
went
He's total chud.
crazy. Yeah, when he started going crazy on a friend of mine on his channel, it was just like, yeah, it was anyway. But back to Star Wars. Yes, basically, yeah. It's going to be turned into offices, basically, which I guess is kind of
how much of the all the rest of the stuff they're keeping, you think? Like,
oh, it's probably they probably haven't gutted too much because the reality is I mean, like the bedrooms and stuff like that, they'll gut. But I'm going to assume they'll keep certain aesthetics. I mean, because it's just too
that'd be
yeah,
kinda cool.
it's too costly to rip it all out. Just keep it as it is, kind of thing, you know.
Oh, he lost your temper on you.
Oh, he's lost his on you. Oh, you're on as well. See, I had another friend, Levi Bond, who he actually completely went crazy at, and went nuts at, yeah, it was he was very unprofessional and very anti what he said he was trying to be, and that was the moment I was like, yeah, I'm done watching this guy. Anyway, yeah, let's not make this negative though. I'm not going to make this into a negative rant because
It's no time for
he does his thing. Good for him if he's got people watching. That's fine. But he's you know, at the same time, I have no interest in what he has to say because he's very one-sided. Anyway, that was Star Wars news. Jumping back, Wednesday. Hey, Anchorman, look, we got Wednesday season 2 images. Wednesday season 2 dropped a couple of images from season 2. I have no idea. Hey, oh yeah, that's the kid from the first one, right? Yeah. So I guess, yeah, we haven't got much. I'm assuming we're going to get to see trailers sometime, but I don't even know if there's a release date for this year. Yeah, later this year on Netflix, season 2. But I read a conflicting piece of information that said we're probably not going to see a lot of those shows until 2026, possibly. So they may give it a good push to get out there, only because Netflix, what's it called? One Piece season 2 is still shooting. Avatar: Last Airbender season 2 is still shooting.
Actually, they're shooting
Season 3 of
they're
Netflix.
shooting season 3 right now.
Yeah, that's it.
Or,
But they still won't have. Supposedly, they won't have season 2 together and finished for this year.
Season 2's done shooting, and they're doing
Yeah.
season 3 now, and they're
Yeah.
just filming them
Yeah.
back to back because it's
Yeah.
massive.
Yeah, that and yeah, that for One Piece and Avatar: Last Airbender shooting back to back. But Avatar: Last Airbender finishes at season 3. One Piece is probably going to go for a couple more years.
They go as long as they can.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, absolutely. As long as the actors are willing to, and as long as the stories are good and all that. But yeah, so yeah, that's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to seeing first looks of, you know, well, at least we're getting first looks of Wednesday. But oh, maybe they will release it this year. Someone claims it's going to be on Netflix this year, but again, conflicting reports of information. This I just read too. Sonic 4, it will be releasing in theaters March 19th, 2027. I still haven't seen the third one. I heard it is a lot of fun. Did you get to see it, Jason, or not?
No, not yet.
Not yet? I hear it's fun.
Yeah, I heard it's really good. I
Yeah.
want to see it. I like the first 2.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw the first one. It was fun. All right, the other show I wanted to talk about, guys. Have you guys seen the new Spider-Man show yet?
I saw the
No,
first
haven't
episode.
watched it.
Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man? You haven't watched it yet? Okay, so I won't go into
You can go.
spoilers.
You can talk. I don't care.
Well, they've only dropped the first 2 episodes at this point. Elijah, what were your thoughts on it? The first episode?
You know, wasn't great. I kind of liked the look of the characters. I mean, it was very like early Marvel type of styling, like
Yeah.
Marvel art, I guess.
Yeah.
And I like the kind of comic book paneling, kind of the stuff they did in it.
Yeah.
It would have been nice if it was a little bit more tied into the Tom Holland, like the Marvel stuff. So it's like
Right.
the younger version of that character, like the story that we didn't get that we
Yeah.
see, but it's obviously something that's just different there.
Completely left field,
Just,
isn't it?
yeah, completely different
Yeah.
characters and completely different
Yeah.
storyline, which I guess that's the biggest
Well,
gripe I would have for it. I mean,
Spider-Verse is vast,
yeah,
guys.
it has
I
less. I'm less intrigued to want to watch it because it's not filling in the gap
really
of like the earlier of what that we
huh.
didn't get from Tom Holland, you know?
See, I had this reversal. I was going into this show thinking I was really truly going to just not like it and enjoy it. And you know, I tried watching My Adventures of with Superman, and I really had trouble getting into how those characters were portrayed. They just did not click with me. You know, they were really left field for me. This, surprisingly, I actually started to enjoy. I have been enjoying the story of the first two episodes of what they do. I enjoyed this new introduction to characters, and I just look at any Spider-Man related thing as this is now another Spider-Verse. This is who these characters are in that universe. So the fact that they're gender swapping characters, or that they're switching out race of characters, it doesn't bother me because these characters could be whoever they become in a different universe. But I actually am enjoying the pacing, especially in the second episode, as to where this has potential of going. And it really did surprise me. And I'd advise you, if you get the chance, to really check it out. Just, I'm curious to know your thoughts there, Jason, for sure. And
Yeah, I might check it out.
yeah, I know that Max was not a fan, but Max is very focused when it comes to his
See,
comic book
here's the
lore.
thing. Like after watching Arcane, it's hard for me to watch a lot of animation because it was so good.
Yeah.
And like I don't know. You hear about these like guys who used to work in Nebraska for jobs, and they come back to the states,
Right.
the other states, and they get depressed because it was so beautiful over there.
Right.
It's like it's been a thing between like people who go out to Alaska to work, and that's how I feel with Arcane. Like
Sure.
if I try to watch another cartoon, I'm just like,
Makes sense.
"God, Arcane looks
Yeah.
so beautiful, and then the
Yeah.
quality was so rich. Like I
Right.
can't go back to anything yet. I need to take some time first."
The one thing I'll give about the animation, and it's still there are things that bother me. Don't get me wrong, because I think the story, surprisingly, I was enjoying what they were trying to tell and the way they were telling it over the animation. And the animation for me always felt very 1960s style look, which is like that freeze frame moments. There was things in there that were just in this show that were
It's like a video game to me.
yeah, that's it.
Like
But the worst thing is
that's
that when they blend the CGI with that animation, it really doesn't work. And
the thing is that's how they did X-Men 97, and it looks great. They
sure,
did a better
yeah,
job with like
yeah,
the making
yeah,
it look like it's not
yeah. But
3D.
they've tried to stylize this Spider-Man series by doing something in between that you're trying to give you that nostalgia of that 60s look with CG. And for me personally, it doesn't work. I think the color choices also are extremely bold and rough. And I say that in the sense of there are blues and yellows that look like they belong on Superman's cape that feel different than the blues and yellows that should be in the Marvel universe. And it's kind of a slightest hue change of one thing, but it seemed they were so bold of colors. You'd have a character wearing a yellow jacket, and someone walks past with this red, and it's almost an eyesore of color, in my opinion. That's just me personally.
I didn't really pick up on that. Or maybe I wasn't
Yeah.
watching it as closely as
Yeah.
you were, but I didn't really pick up on.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing that bothered me about the trailer. Was like it would seem like that, and then the more I watched, I was like, yeah, between that and the CGI blending of animation and this, it was like pick one, pick a style, but don't keep meshing them back and forth. But I really enjoyed the story overall for what they had to tell in these first two episodes, more than I expected to. I was expecting something more like
why does it's using the same technique of animation as like X-Men 97,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah,
it's 3D models that they're
yeah,
kind of like cell shading and kind of
yeah,
making them look
yeah.
2D, but why does this one look bad compared to that one?
Again, I don't know. I don't know if I mean I think I can just straight out say that it's disjointing. I think is the best place to put it with that blend between the CG look and movement, with that and the animation colors.
Mhm.
I think, and I feel like that could be a big part of what's that disjointingness to
Well,
it.
I think a lot could do was like sometimes you could tell when it's like 3D because of the blocking and like the kind of
Yeah.
angle that the characters are. But if you
Oh no, this is
trim
like
them,
full move around the school, and the
yeah.
school is a computer generated.
See, like I think like
Yeah,
97, they treated it like a 2D
yeah,
animation
yeah,
where like their
yeah,
blocking was like
yeah.
blocked the same way you would block like a 2D animation instead of like kind of embracing the fact that you could be 3D. But I
Right,
think that
right.
goes a long way, and I think that should be the main focus if you're trying to, as far as the style goes. I don't know. I
Yeah,
think art
yeah,
direction on like a cartoon is really important.
yeah.
But yeah,
I
like
yeah.
watching the clips of it, like it was just I don't know. I wasn't too happy with.
No, again, I wasn't either, but I got to admit, these new characters that I know nothing about, I was enjoying exploring new characters in Spider-Man that I'm not familiar with, and re-exploring some old ones. But I feel like it's been a while since we've seen, Harry Osborn and in anything major. Last time I think he really was around was in the like in any form was the uh, what's his name?
James Franco.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, it's
yeah,
like it was
yeah,
what's it, Dave
yeah,
DeHaan in
yeah,
Amazing Spider-Man? What's his name
yeah.
from?
But he was never front and center, and they've put the Osborn family front and center, or they're about to put them front and center. So I'm curious to see how they play that out. And granted, I haven't watched a lot of the other animated Spider-Man shows that have been out there in the last like 15, 20 years kind of thing. The last one I think I really enjoyed was the one from the 90s, which was,
Yeah.
classic,
Do you
90s.
remember the CG Spider-Man cartoon that they released like around the Tobey Maguire
Oh, that's like
Spider-Man?
I never
the MTV
saw it.
one.
Yeah,
That
the
was like the
MTV one
MTV
with
one.
Oh, yeah.
Neil Patrick Harris, which was great casting for Peter
Right.
Parker. I thought that
Okay.
was really good because he's good
I
at
never
talking
saw any
shit.
of it. Yeah.
I see, like Neil Patrick Harris. Whenever he voices a cartoon, I always think it's a great casting.
Right.
Like when he did Nightwing in Under the Hood, Under the
Oh,
Red
yeah.
Hood. Like I
Yeah.
thought that was really good. But yeah, I remember that one being really cool because the
Hmm.
3D animation was still relatively new around that time. It wasn't
Yeah.
overused
Yeah.
really and didn't look cheap.
Yeah.
But it's just like the type of action they could make him do was pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
But I remember enjoying that when it was out. But
Oh,
maybe I'll check this one out.
I say check it out. I mean, Max is definitely overpowering with what he hates about it. I feel I'm enjoying what Max is disliking, and he's disliking the
If
not your
anything's
regular characters. Not
if anything's
Flash
out,
Thompson. Flash Thompson is not a character in the school, at least at this point in time. So you're getting all these other characters, and I'm like, oh, who's this new person? I'm kind of invested in who that person might be in the relationship of everybody else around them.
Well, new
Peter
characters are
Parker.
okay because he's like a freshman in school, so like it makes sense to have some new students that you don't know.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it's just because it's not really tying into the Tom Holland like what they originally set up.
oh,
is
sure. That's what
The
I
only thing
think I'm
that
enjoying about it, though.
only thing that really like I wasn't expecting.
you
I thought
wanted to see it connected. Like
Yeah,
that's
just
what you
I was like, I mean, I don't want to say I wanted to see that. I was just more expecting that. Like
Yeah.
that's a better word to say. I was
Well,
expecting to see that.
with Max, if it strays away from the source material, he's going to be upset.
of
Like,
course. You're right. You're right. You're right.
like,
But Max
it's
has also
it's
said
not
some of
like
these characters are a small character that might have existed
yeah,
in a point in time. But uh,
he's
I'm
not
in.
he's not going to be happy unless it's exactly like the
Sure.
comics.
Oh no, totally,
Sorry,
totally.
Max,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
that's
totally.
what it comes
Yeah,
down to a lot of the time.
yeah. I can say that I am personally enjoying it more than my adventures with Superman. A
See, I
lot more.
liked that.
And
I
again,
like.
I had a reverse
I
visceral
think it.
reaction. I cannot handle
I
Lois
think
Lane's character.
it's cute. I like
Really?
the Lois in that. She's
No.
kind of reckless, but I mean,
She's
Lois is always
she's
reckless.
she's always reckless, but she's never been obnoxious to me, and I find that version of Lois very
Really?
obnoxious.
Not the like Christopher Reeves Lois wasn't obnoxious to you? She was the most
No,
toxic Lois I've ever experienced in my
really,
life.
really. No, I find this version of Lois Lane toxic.
I don't like how she
A
like
lot.
jumps out of the building expecting Clark to save her because she's just convinced that he's Superman. That is the most
Well,
toxic behavior
that
I've
was
ever seen in a Lois Lane. I'm sorry. Yeah,
fair
my
enough point.
Adventures of
Fair
Superman
enough point.
is good. I enjoy that one. I like
Yeah.
the art style. It's fun to watch. Like it's nice to see just decent animation, you know.
Uh-huh. Yeah. No, again, yeah, I
What
don't,
I like about that one is the character chemistry between everyone. I think it works for me.
yeah, there's character
Like it.
chemistry, which is interesting. I mean, again, I know they're doing something different because everybody's an intern that goes into the Daily Planet there, but I guess there is this element of, which is the reverse of what I've been saying about the Spider-Man show, because it does irritate me that they're all interns. I've always accepted
You're
Lois
more
Lane as the more
invested.
experienced and Jimmy Olsen as the least experienced and Clark
Yeah.
Kent's in the middle,
Well,
and you've
see,
got them all on the same level, and I'm
in
like,
that defense, because like it's this current generation, so like no one has a job. Like you're like well into your 20s and
oh,
you're
that's
still
funny.
an intern. That
Intern,
makes
yeah.
sense. It's the
No,
in the
okay, yeah.
context of like
Oh,
this
they're
world.
definitely targeting a
So
younger
it makes
audience.
sense.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
But yeah,
I
this
just
I
don't get
think
into
it's
it.
a good it's a young millennial Gen
Yeah.
Z
Mm-hmm.
Star I trans Superman, which I think is great. I think it's
Uh-huh.
super cute.
Uh-huh.
That's what
Yeah.
I'll say about My Adventures with Superman. It's adorable.
Mm-hmm.
In the same way Sailor Moon is, you know.
Okay. See, I never got into Sailor Moon, so yeah.
And
Maybe yeah. That cutesy Japanese anime style of look to it doesn't really just. I don't connect.
it's like Avatar, man. It's just like Avatar. Isn't this
No, you're right. There are things about it that are a bit like that,
no,
or
it's what they call
what's
it?
it
It's
called?
faux anime.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, what was the other one? Teen Titans used to do that too, and
Yeah.
stuff like
But
that. And
that is the
yeah,
animation style that a lot of people like.
right.
It's,
Which, yeah, I don't know. It
yeah.
didn't work for Superman for me for that. So I'm like,
Yeah. They did veer away from like the lore.
yeah.
So I feel like you're a lot more invested in Superman as an IP than Spider-Man, I guess. So
Yeah. Well, yes and no, because the Spider Verse stuff opened up my mind to there is so much about Spider-Man and different people that I'm accepting a lot more of being able to watch a different version of Spider-Man and be like, okay, this is kind of fun as long as it's keeping my interest in exploring these new characters and all that
and when
and
it
this
comes
new
to
world.
Superman, if as long as they stick to the kind of storytelling you enjoy, you're going to enjoy Superman.
Yeah, maybe it is a bias thing. I
Because
don't
like
know.
yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Oh, it
yeah,
totally is.
yeah.
Because like you're a more traditional like Christopher Reeves,
Sure. Yeah.
Smallville,
Yeah. I mean,
Superman and
my
Lois.
my world is the DC world over the
Because like
MCU. It always has been. So.
yeah, because like the Superman and Lois and like all the other Superman are like pretty sticking to like the original lore
Yeah.
of like of Superman. But then if you try to shake it up a little bit, you're gonna get upset. You're like, oh, I don't, that's not how
Well,
Superman is.
it's not even upset. I just don't. Yeah. Okay. Maybe it is. Maybe it
It
is.
is.
Maybe it's.
It is. Whenever they
No,
drift away from
but
like that, what
yeah.
we're used to or what
Yeah.
you're used to, you're just like,
Yeah.
it's not meshing with me.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is.
It's
Yeah.
true. It's just kind of built into what you're
Sure.
familiar with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that they can't do something different with the character, but it just has to be something that I am going to
You're
enjoy,
okay with.
and I don't
That's-
enjoy. Yeah, that's it. I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, after that being said, I'm excited about James Gunn's Superman.
Yeah, yeah.
Seeing that.
Yes, I am not a fan of my Adventures with Superman. So Sue me. I am looking forward to James Gunn's, as you said. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Although I still think Henry Cavill looks the best out of all the Supermen. Like that is an ideal look. Like Henry
I,
Cavill. It's just
I,
I mean,
I.
I know you don't like the movie, but him
Oh,
as Superman
oh.
looks
I'm.
perfect. Like I don't know, you can't. I think like where he set the standard for who to cast for Superman. That's why they went with corn.
In the modern thing, but Christopher Reeve is still
Yeah, we'll always have
icon.
that. I'm not.
No,
I'm,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
we'll always have Christopher Reeve, but
I
unfortunately
I
he's not
was
with us anymore, and he's.
yeah.
But Henry Cavill looks great as a Superman. Like I see
See,
pictures of it still compared to the current Superman. I'm still like, oh, man.
I really really like the look that Tom not Tom
I'm
Hutchin.
sweating.
Welling?
No, it's Superman and Lois
No,
actor. Oh, I've mental
Dean
block on his
Cain?
name.
that guy.
No,
Superman and Lois. Oh, they got okay.
Yeah.
I still haven't watched.
I know who you're talking about. He's in
Yeah,
Palm
okay.
Springs.
yeah. Tyler Hoechlin, Hoch, I can't pronounce his last name, but yeah, I think he actually had a great range on his face for different things.
Now, yeah, great range, but like, if you're gonna reference an actor
Yes.
to play Superman in a comic book and you're
That's
gonna
it.
copy that, it's Henry Cavill. I'm
See,
sorry. Like, he just
but
looks like a fucking comic book.
but he looks brooding all the time. I don't think he sees Miles once. I mean, like that was my problem. It was like he looked too brooding, and that's not from the performance of his performance.
No, I'm
That's
just
the
saying
way
about
he
what
was
he
asked to
looks like-
portray that character.
No, I'm not saying like how
Yeah.
he's acting as Superman. I'm talking
yeah.
about like strictly what he looks like in the suit and as Superman.
I guess. Yeah.
It's like one of the perfect castings of all time. I'm sorry, I just gotta say.
Okay.
Like that was like perfectly casted. As flawed as his run of Superman is, he was at least the best to come out of that is him being cast as Superman.
Yeah. I'm glad he's continually getting work and being recognized. I mean, he's a really good actor. I enjoy his work.
Coming to Star Wars. I mean, I like Cavill, not just because he's handsome and like really hot. Probably why? Yeah, that is probably.
That'd be cool.
Why I like him so much.
That'd be cool.
But I'd like anything that he's in. Like he's great casting, whatever
Yeah.
he's in. I feel like.
Yeah. I would love to see him as James Bond. I mean, he really the way he was all dressed up in what's it called, Mission Impossible, when he played the villain in that. I thought he looked like he'd be a suitable Bond.
Yeah,
cool.
he just looks great in everything, man. It's crazy.
Oh, he's a good. I mean, come on, that cameo he had in Wolverine was freaking brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
So,
It just sucks. Is like, yeah, I do see like pictures of him compared to the current Superman. I'm just like, oh man, we had something great, but just dropped the ball so much. I mean, although how much I like the Snyder cut of Justice League, that was still pretty great. It's really good, but yeah.
really, Eddie Raymond would be. I would imagine him as a Q or something like that, but not.
Actually, yeah, Eddie Redmayne would be kind of cool as James Bond. James Bond
You think
isn't
so?
a buff dude. Like,
Right. Yeah.
I can see.
I mean, he's a great.
proper. Like,
He's a good actor, but I.
oh yeah, he did do the Day of the Jackal. They do shot for shot for like the original. In that, I saw a clip they were comparing.
For Day of the
Like,
Jackal.
yeah, of
For,
the original,
compared to what?
the original Day of the Jackal.
Oh, I've never seen it.
That's an older
I didn't. Okay.
film.
Oh, is that something that he's done
Eddie
already?
Redmayne.
Okay.
Hey, he had a year a few years ago. He was
Oh,
Stephen Hawking and
Yeah.
and
He was in Les
what was that
Mis.
Jupiter Rising?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was. Yeah. I mean, he was good in Les Mis too. I mean, yeah.
The Theory of Everything. That's what I'm talking
That's it.
about. That Charlie Cox
That's
got
the one,
Daredevil in that movie.
Mhm.
He got cucked by Charlie Cox in that movie. And what's her name? Jen Erso from from Rogue One. Man, we just made a connection in that movie. Eddie Redmayne
enough.
had
Fair
like
enough.
Daredevil and Jyn Erso in one
Oh
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, that's pretty much all the news I have got. It's pretty quiet still. Shows are still just starting up and all that. So I'm sure during the next month we'll be able to start talking about Daredevil and
Yeah.
catch up on Invincible and all
Wait,
that sort
when
of
was
stuff.
the Superman coming out?
Which one? The movie. June or July. I can't remember. One of the two dates.
That's gonna be huge.
Yeah. But then,
Can't
yeah,
wait for that.
next
I'm so
Friday.
excited.
Next Friday is Captain America.
Yeah.
So we got some cool things coming out. I'm looking forward to seeing it. It's gonna be fun.
Charlie Cox is gonna be in my sitcom Anchorman. Oh yeah, that's right. He's getting a cameo. That's
There
right.
you go.
Stay tuned for next Wednesday for
Oh,
the
yeah. Jason's channel.
Superman
Yeah.
cameo.
Yeah.
Not Superman. Charlie Cox.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, chat. Thank you guys for being so responsive and interactive today. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, watch Andor again, everyone.
And
I'm
I
trying
gotta
to-
re- yeah.
I've
gotta
I've got a
rewatch it.
list of shows I'm trying to get through. As I said, I'll get to that closer to when season 2 comes out for a recap, for sure.
Yeah,
Other
but
than that,
again between that and now.
fair enough. I'm having trouble sitting in front of the TV and keeping my attention span. So, all right, guys, appreciate you all. Thank you so much, and we shall catch you all later.
And pick another target.